Okay, thank you very much, Gen and Sam, for that session there. Morning, everyone. My name's Charlie Hayward. I'm Head of Partnerships at GCV. I haven't been on stage yet, just wanted to introduce myself and say hey. I have the great honour and pleasure of introducing the next session, which is kindly been organised and supported by Invest Estonia, who are strong partners of ours both here and also at our London event, which is the GCV Symposium in June, on the 24th to the 26th of June. I'm kind of heading that event up, so if anyone's interested in some of the other events we do around the world, then please come and grab me throughout the rest of today. Anyway, moving on to session, it gives me, as I said, great pleasure to welcome Taavi Kotka, who is the former CIO of the Estonian government and now founder and CEO of Cause, who's going to be giving a really interesting session titled From Government Startup to Unicorn, Unveiling the Estonian Journey. Taavi, the floor is yours. Thank you.
So, first remote somewhere. Anyways, greetings from the war zone. Okay, funny. To be honest, Germany is further, closer to Ukraine than Estonia, to be honest. But still, yes, we have this aggressive neighbor whose leader has been able to hypnotize their nation in the same way like Hitler did in 1930s with Germany. So it is a problem, but you have to survive, and our tribe, who actually took that place thousands of years ago, is still there. And I also have another hat. I'm the head of Reliance Geo European R&D Center. So Mr. Ambani chose Estonia as a partner because they really would like to build up the digital India, and why not to collaborate with a country who has done it by themselves. So I very quickly go through this remarkable story of our country. Estonia is as old as Finland, so if you consider Finland as a country, then Estonia is also like a small brother. We speak almost the same language. But we have a slight difference, which is that after a couple of decades of freedom, we were occupied by the Soviet Union. Finland was able to continue as they did. And when we broke apart from Soviet Union in 1991 again, there was no capitalism, there was nothing. By the way, whoever wants to try out socialism and communism again, please don't do. It doesn't work. We know. I mean, we have tried. If you have nothing, you understand that you have to innovate. So you have to create something totally new. And in Estonia, we call it innovation from pain. So for example, if you start to reform healthcare, or if you start to reform your tax system or social systems, it's always painful to somebody. But if you don't have money, in startups, it's very easy to, that's how to say, push things through with a stick. So that's what we did. So since the beginning, we took approach that can we build up a country from the digital perspective as a company. I mean, you can't run a country as a company except if you're Singapore, but can we do it from the technology point of view? Let's say, can we see a person in the same way for the private sector and government sector? Can we actually connect all databases in a way that we can take data from here and use it there, etc.? And how can we build up a trust that people actually allow us to do this and support this? So we followed this 7-principle rule. We still follow that. So that's one of the core concepts of the whole digital strategy and the way how we build stuff in Estonia. I don't go them through one by one, but I wanted to point out some of the results. So currently, Estonia is fully digital. Simple reason, it's a 1.3 million country, which means that there's not enough people to serve other people. And we don't have the problem is that we don't have the immigrants wanting to come into the country like the same way like you have here. I think the problem is climate. It's extremely cold up there. In the same latitude in Canada, there is no life. So, but that's why we need to do the technology. And the whole nation has accepted technology in a way that physical signatures, gone already more than 20 years. People fully rely on digital signatures, not physical ones. And the trust on government systems and private sector systems, I think the best thing to represent that is more than 50% now people vote online. I know that our big neighbor also wants to introduce voting online, but to be honest, doesn't matter how they vote there, because it's an interesting situation where a couple of weeks before the election, everybody knows who is the winner, but nobody knows who are the candidates. So, this looks like spaghetti, but this is actually Estonian digital society. As a CIO, I should be terrified seeing this kind of picture, but to be honest, I'm actually quite proud of it. So Estonia has built the whole system in a point-to-point way, which means that there is a law which says that no same kind of information can be asked from the citizen twice and cannot be stored twice. So let's say if somebody has a passport data in one system, the other one cannot store it from themselves, but has to ask it from the original place. And this is very relatable for all the blockchain people, and it's very relatable for, let's say, who knows Skype. Skype technology was also born in Estonia. And investing all this digital stuff and making, building this digital infrastructure for the whole country has resulted in a way that Estonia, we are number one in digital healthcare. We are number one in collecting taxes, if you follow all the OECD reports, etc. And it's all because that we can exchange data. So you can go to any hospital and the information is already there. Or you can't commit tax fraud because there are robots and AI who actually control the relationships and the payments between the companies. And it's funny, to do that, obviously these robots, they need information. And the only way to get that information is that if companies actually are willing to provide that information to the government. And funny thing, they do. Because in return, they get more equal markets. Transparency means that government can keep taxes low. There is no corporate income tax. Corporate income tax is 0. You only pay tax if you take money out of the company, like dividends, for example. And obviously salary, etc. But there's no corporate income tax. Number one in education, we can't point out that it's all because of computers. But there has to be a reason why post-Soviet Union republic develops with less than 30 years to become number one in Europe in all those areas. And we think it's technology. So, but we didn't stop there. We also started to play with blockchain and similar technologies before blockchain was invented. That's why they also looked for the founder of Bitcoin from Estonia, because early papers were very similar what Estonia was already doing several years. They didn't found the founder from Estonia, but the way how we use blockchain since the beginning is especially in healthcare and everywhere where you need digital signature, digital stamping. And it's not proud to say, because there was a huge amount of fraud related with all kind of crypto scams in the world during last 5 years. But what I have to say proudly is that every new technology starts with scam. Let's take internet, for example. Scientists warned us that if you use internet, there will be like cheating, there will be porn, there will be like all kind of like horrible, terrible stuff. And they were right. But on the same time, positive things happened. The same with blockchain and all kind of crypto initiatives, like gazillion bad things happened. But on the same time, the world saw a new technology. How can trusted system, like how they can be built? And more than 50% of all the crypto companies were actually registered in Estonia last 5-6 years, in global terms. So I'm proudly saying, like, yeah, I'm proud that our government put, let's say, legislation there that allowed this. On the negative side, sorry about all the bad things that those crypto companies actually did in your countries, like whenever you come from, because they were global. So, but we didn't stop there. So if you have all this private sector connected with government sector, you have interesting challenges and questions that, like, what's the good? Like, what else can we do? And when I was in government, the CIO position belongs to the Minister of Economy. And we challenged ourselves that, okay, with IT you can you can cut costs, you can become more and more efficient, but there's always a limit there. Like so, but if you want to get more wealth to your nation and to your people, like if you want to make your country great again, like you need to increase the revenues, like you need to increase the economy, and with countries it's quite straightforward, like. You need more people to get more GDP. So Estonia is a 1.3 million nation, small, yes. Land-wise, we are actually bigger than Switzerland. We have a lot of land. So like if you are introvert, like that's the place to live. But, we don't have people. So how can we grow, let's say, 8 times? Why 10 million? Because Sweden is 9.6. And Sweden is our neighbor, and you want to become better than your neighbor, always. So if they are 9.6, we have to be 10. And but like, okay, you need more people, and they already explained to you because of the climate reasons, like the country is not too attractive for immigrants. So what we're going to do? No, I mean, so I went to my wife and said, like, I have this new plan. We need to grow from 1.3 million up to 10. These are my children. One is missing, like we have one more. And she, like smart woman, like she is, like, I mean, it's a bad plan because, like, if you try to get that 10 million through birth, you have to understand that first 25 years, this investment is a liability. So it doesn't bring back you anything. Like, so you have to come up with a different solution. And back then, I mean, if you have the whole society digitalized, all the private sector and government sector is capable to work digitally. Like you don't have to physically go anywhere. Like you can operate digitally. So this allowed us, I mean, we served our diaspora decades. Like people living in Silicon Valley voting over the internet, like how cool is that? Like signing running the companies in Europe, like signing documents digitally, like all there. Like, so why we only have to serve Estonians? So just why can't we invite anybody to become a digital Estonian? So imagine that you are sitting in a kitchen in New Delhi and you're running your European business behind your kitchen table. So that was a plan. So we invented a new concept called e-residency. Yeah, clumsy name, but you can't fight with the lawyers. Like, so whenever you build a startup, like all the good ideas are killed by lawyers. Like, so the word is e-residency. And we compared ourselves like with others. And as you know, like if you see the corporate tax rate, I mean, you have it 0. And if it's 0, like until you keep your investments in the company, until you reinvest your money, you're not taxed. So great competitive advantage. No need to come physically to Estonia. Can operate your businesses all over the place. Great success. We created all this, like we had a goal 10 million. That's the number where we are at the moment. So like slightly over 100,000. By the way, our second e-resident was Tim Draper. And when we had it over, the e-resident to Tim Draper, Draper says like 110 million, why not the billion? So a good question, like why not? But that's a problem, like if you want to do government startup, in the end of the day, they're still a government, not a startup. So numbers are small, like so 100,000 like people. I mean, for you, these are ridiculous numbers. But if you imagine that we have 1.3 million people in Estonia, and we have been able to increase that almost 10% just because of technology. It's a great success. It's also money-wise great success because, like, I come back to this. The government gets as taxes more than 100 million per year. It's a pure profit, so the government doesn't do anything to get that. So if you think the e-residence as a startup that makes profit 100 million per year, it's a unicorn, at least a potential unicorn. And that's what we're aiming. So we improve our authentication and other processes. And funny thing, we created e-residency for the people who are outside of European Union, because Estonia is inside the European Union, Estonia is inside NATO, Estonia is inside Eurozone. That like now, if you want to get access to that great market, run it through Estonia. But funny thing, more than half of all the e-residents are actually from Europe. So as you see, Germany is number 2. So we went to Germans asking like, what's your problem? Like, you are inside EU, you are inside NATO. Fuck, you are the EU. Like, without Germany, nothing happens, to be honest. Like, so why the hell you need to become a digital citizen of Estonia? And the simple reason, running a company in Germany for like a solo entrepreneur is as tough as for BMW. Like, you invest a lot. You have to spend a lot every year, like to run, just like for the bureaucracy to manage your company. So you still can have your like German tax, like German bank account and business, but like you run your company through fully automated systems, and you keep the cost like very low. And that's why Germans and other countries are our customers. So country can actually start serving other countries. So this is possible. So why I told you this story is that, that even though there is Russia, but there's also NATO, and there is war, etc., there's still good and great stuff coming out from Estonia. Like if you are in military or weapons industry, I really suggest you to look at Europe at the moment. Definitely, I think the world underestimates like how much money all European countries will invest into the military next decade. Like many countries, including our own country, who has always paid the 2%. We have always paid the 2%. I know one man in US has a problem with that, but like not even 2. Many countries are increasing their GDP or investment to the military up to 3%. So it's a big area, and like the startups that are created in Finland, Estonia, elsewhere at the moment, they actually test their stuff in Ukraine. So it's a big opportunity. But on top of that, if you truly want to see or imagine how digital societies will influence or change our industry, come to Estonia. We have another great Latitude 59 conference in May, and see our startups. More than 10 unicorns have come out from Estonia during last 15 years, starting from Skype, also Wise, Bolt, etc. They are from there. We're great software engineers, and so if something rings a bell, like contact me or our team, and see you in May in Estonia. Thank you. Or was there any questions? Like, I have 1 minute left. No questions.